Okay, welcome back. Michael Ventron, Ventron Enterprises again, here with the trust fund scam run by Chester County, Pennsylvania. Literally, the county is running the scam. There's not a doubt in my mind at this point. Been away for a little bit, had to deal with more Chester County fraud. But let's get back to where we started, where we left off. I'm going to start going through everything from the Orphans Court, then I'm going to focus on the Family Court, and then I'm going to start going through all the other little things. Everything of which, for the most part, paid to Fox Rothschild with my stolen money. Okay? So this is the first docket review for anybody that hasn't seen a docket. Every prothonotary, every court, civil court, family court, orphans court, they all have docket lists. Okay? So we're going to go through 2000 to 2003 here. This is how far back this fraud goes in Chester County. It's truly amazing. So just a quick review, whose money was this? Okay, so it's Sheila Wall Hunt's and George Hunt Sr. They're my former in-laws from my ex-wife, Ashley Hunt. Okay? Upon their passing, George Jr. and Mary Hunt received their inheritance. Here you go, kids. Not my wife, though, the third one. That didn't happen. So Ashley Hunt, married to me at the time, I'm MTV for those unfamiliar, is to receive a trust fund with the parents' lawyer, Andrew Doan, of Lenz, Cantor, and Macy. Very important, Lenz, Cantor, and Macy in Malvern. Still operational. I don't think Doan's there any longer. We're not sure where he went. He could be dead at this point. I have no idea. Okay? So they're supposed to be the co-trustees with the eldest daughter, Mary, for this trust fund for Ashley. Now again, the parents didn't even know me when this codicil to will was created that was supposed to create the trust fund that never got created. Okay? As far as the participants, you got attorneys Andrew Doan and Julie Goldstein. That's the skirt from Fox Rothschild. She suddenly is the litigator in Orphans Court because nobody else from Fox Rothschild but her shows up. The decedent, that's Sheila. She's dead. That's what happened. This got created. In theory. So the executor was George Hunt Jr. and Mary Napier Hunt. Originally it was Mary. Now how the three of them become executors, I'm still not quite sure about that one. Okay? The objector is Lynn Ventron. Not really, it was me. My mother was supposed to be co-trustee, so we're not sure where it all went horribly wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Andrew Doan that did it, along with William Cooper III, Coop the financial rapist baby, of Fox Rothschild. Alright? They have him as a petitioner, which is weird because it was my petition on this first one. And then me being the respondent, again, Michael Ventron, MTV, baby. Alright, so the relationship, the executor is Doan. He's the one that created the codicil to will. The executor is supposed to be Mary, George, and Ashley. Petitioner, again, is Julie Goldstein. She did some petitions as well. And then William Cooper III also did some petitions. That's down the line. Up until 2003, it's strictly the Andrew Doan show. So again, it's registered by Doan from 2000 to 2003. It's all Doan, all about Doan, and it's all about the taxes. These literally Doan register wills in Orphans Court, Chester County. This is what's happening here, okay? So on May 25th of 2002, I marry Ashley Hunt, okay? Now again, up until 2003, it was all about Doan. So we really don't know what's going on here, all right? So at this time, Sheila had passed, but George Sr. was still alive. So nothing happened because everything Sheila had went to George Sr. And George Sr. went first, everything was going to Sheila. So that's the way it was set up in the wills. Alright, but he's got Alzheimer's. You got Mary as the power of attorney, and she would later rescind power of attorney to George Jr., which is when all hell breaks loose on Brayburn Farm, the horse farm where these three were raised with their parents. Okay? So again, there's no further updates until 2019. Literally. From 2003 to 2019, there is absolutely nothing. Nothing at the Register of Wills in Chester County regarding any type of trust fund, anything at all being legitimate there. Okay? And if there's nothing there, that means they gave us the money. It's our money. It's a marital asset. Right? So, in 2010, George and Mary, they literally were on the horse farm. We're trying to take care of George Sr., and they come after us to throw us off the farm because George Jr. is taking over now. Right? So the eviction fails. I finagle a little settlement out of these guys. I get enough money that we get out of there. I've already sold my house. We get out of there and we leave Chester County. We come over here to Montgomery County. Chester County has been following me and screwing my life up ever since I left. You would think you leave somewhere, you leave, you move on with your life. Not with Chester County. Okay? So we end up with George Senior passes, we get 202 Rivercrest. We purchased it for $717,000, and per the family order here in Montgomery County, I'm forced to sell it, claiming it's a trust fund asset, and we sell it for $620,000. So we lose ridiculous amounts of money, about $300-some thousand we ended up losing. So again, just to give you a feel for it, this is the codicil to will, and it states, what it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be taking care of Ashley. The very first words is medical care. It's supposed to take her medical care. And it also states right at the end, the trustees deem warranted, considering the emotional and financial maturity of my daughter, they can terminate the trust. Well, the trust was never created. I guarantee you that one. So they termed it. They terminated it. They gave Ashley the money. It was a marital asset. And that's when the fraud starts happening. Sorry for the delay. Just real quick, this is the 2010 where they come after us. And again, Lentz, Cantor, and Macy. Now, Doan's not the one that does the petition. George Jr. gets this guy Scott Yaw to do it, but it's the same law firm. The law firm knows that they're supposed to be taking care of her, but instead they're going to throw her into the street. What a pathetic law firm. What a horrible, horrible firm. So, just to remind you, okay, here's Doan. This is the guy that's supposed to be co-trustee, responsible for the Hunt family money. I'll show you later on, not this one, but future. He literally just hands the money over to Coop. Ridiculous, okay? And then again, here's Coop, the financial rapist. He's the one that somehow ends up getting the money, and then he starts paying her with the money, the skirt, to litigate in Orphans Court and cover it all up. With Chester County running the scam, it's not hard to cover it all up. Okay? So, I'm an IT guy. At the end of every project, we do a lessons learned, post-mortem. What the heck's going on? What went right? What went wrong, right? So what went right? Well, the taxes were correct. Doan was doing the taxes. He's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing there with the Register of Wills and the codicil to will and everything, right? So, I get away. We got off the horse farm. We came to Montgomery County. We get out of there unscathed, and I'm thinking, I'm done with this family. I never want to hear from them again. And then later on, I found about the trust fund, right? So what went wrong? Well, there's a 2-decade struggle with this horrible family. Sheila had 3 of the most horrible children that ever lived. George, Mary, Ashley, 3 of the most horrible children. And the amount of hatred is just a shame. And again, in family court, we were forced to sell the house for $330,000 loss, with my ex-wife going, "Yay, we're gonna win." I'm like, we're losing. No concept of money for this one, that's for sure. Okay. And again, the end state, I'm still trying to get the $1.2 million. That's how much that was in the inheritance. That's how much the marital asset that we got when the parents passed away, that they pretended was a trust fund, and it's not. Okay. So again, the final grandchild. There's my beautiful daughter. She's only 17. When she graduates high school next year, she has a right to go to Orphans Court and demand an audit. My son refuses to demand an audit, even though he's an adult now, saying he's not going to help me sue his mother. You sue people in civil court, Hunter. Orphans Court is where you go and you hold the lawyers accountable for the money, the family money that they got a hold of. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to get an accounting of this. Makes no sense to me. It's a lot of gaslighting, I think is the correct word, right? So as far as the cost benefit for my efforts here, because I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on, right? Well, I got the codicil and the wills and everything free, but that's at this point, that's the only thing that Orphans Court and the Register of Wills in Chester County had. They got the wills, they got the codicil to will. That's it. They had nothing else, okay? So the benefit, well, I verified that Andrew Doan and Lentz, Cantor, and Macy actually did a codicil to will, so there was supposed to be a trust fund for her medical care. Zero paid for medical care, by the way. So Was it worth it? Well, I still don't know. You know, we're still trying to figure this out. I mean, to me, it's an inheritance. It was a marital asset. Fox Rothschild commits fraud, claiming they're in charge of a trust fund, and they just take all the money and do whatever they want with it. Pay for your kid's private school. Pay for a private golf club. Pay for your buddy's kid to go to college. Send Jimmy Q's kid to college. Whatever they want. Who knows? There's no audit. Nobody knows what happened to $1.2 million, and I seem to be the only person that's concerned about that. So as far as the artifacts so far, so I've got the docket list from Orphans Court. I've got the codicil to will, right, from Sheila Wall Hunt. So I have those two artifacts. Nothing else at this point. And as far as the family, in sequence 89, Judge Barrett, I call it the speeding ticket, where he starts ordering me to make payments to a trust fund in Chester County that's not even real. Doesn't have the power to do that. He's a judge in a different county. He's a family court judge, for crying out loud, trying to order me to do things with the trust fund. Totally unbelievable. And then again, as far as the civil, you know, we had that from George Jr. and Mary. Obviously, they hated their little sister. Never once did they come to Orphans Court whatsoever. So either they hate their little sister so much that they hate the children, or they're just worried about their financial liability to the Ventrone family, to me, and to the children. So let's keep our mouths shut. Who cares if the children are being harmed with the grandparents' money? As long as it's not us being harmed, who cares? Well, this is me harming you guys. The rest of your lives, I want you to know what you did to the children. So as far as next steps, well, it's game on, baby. You want to play games? I love games. And if you have a favorite game like being a lawyer, and I get really good at your game, I will smash you at it. And that's what I did for 12 years. Taking them to the cleaners. Fox Rothschild is basically Walmart. It's a big company making a bunch of money with a bunch of average or below average employees. That is Fox Rothschild. Okay? As far as the recommendation from Chesco, okay, and this is what I'm trying to figure out what to do down in family court, this is what Chester County tells me, the lawyer referral service. Break the bitch and get your kids. Just break the bitch and get your kids. She doesn't have a job. You already beat her lawyer before. Just break her. Well, the bitch got $1.2 million. That's going to take some time, right? About a decade. Okay? So, and then determine the direction in Orphans Court. I mean, there's not proper record keeping. If you ever go through Chapter 77, which is literally the trust fund laws, so many were broken. Starting with record keeping. How do you not have any records in Orphans Court? It's unbelievable. So again, you know, you can follow us. Hit me with the email. You have any questions, please come to the website. You can see everything, read about it. The videos are all up there. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. I have my business page, which is basically talking all about this fraud here. Okay? And again, donate. Donate to us if you can. Eventually, I need a real lawyer for my daughter. Okay? She deserves it. Fundraiser, whatever you want to call it. But this is what we're trying to do. Thank you for your time. I'll be back with number 2.